Howdy, cadre. Uh, what do we get up to? Where are we at? What? Okay. I think we did positive hand last. Oh, what? I think we did positive hand. Judging by my chart, I think we're on quadrangle. And I got a dream to tell you about. I should, boop, boop, boop. I should make another. I always do that. I don't want to do that. I don't know why I can't get that right in my head. So, yeah. Weird dream. I think it was in response to just the kind of battles I've been in on Facebook. Sheltering in place and quadrangle. Ooh, pretty one. Kind of sparring with friends and friends of friends on Facebook. Verbally sparring. Trying to, yeah. Everything is so politicized and polarized right now. It's really weird to have somebody who just, oh, well, okay. Just like I don't have a bucket, okay. Just like a week ago was praising you for opening their eyes. Pillars confirmed, okay. Yeah, to now turn around and, whoa, okay, sure. Okay. Oh, I killed another world. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, this is all pretty bad. This is all pretty bad. Okay. The world is burning. Yeah. And the coral's dying. Hey, we got a shulker shell, though. Hey there, buddy. The dream. Yeah, I was starting to talk about what I think inspired the dream, but I can't mine right now, can I? Nope. Yeah, that's dead coral now. So yeah, the dream took place at a party. I don't know. I call it a party. It was yeah, hit him with a piece of watermelon. All right. This is dangerous. And that is why it is dangerous. How long? Hey, how long does this thing last? I can't see. um. Ah, darn it! I want to be able to mine. There's a lot of lava flows. Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty busy, chaotic party, I guess. Why? I thought. Hmm. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Where's that coming from anyway? There's obviously guardians around. They must be down in the water. Well, we seem to have dealt with the threats for now. Maybe I can just wait it out. And you know, maybe party isn't the best explanation. It was like a large house, kind of like a plantation style house, like a big multi-room house. Um, and there were a lot of people there of different ages, and it felt like a camp. I think would be the best way to describe it. Um, you know, like maybe it was an old plantation home, and the plantation had been turned into a campground, that sort of thing. It didn't particularly feel southern, but it did. I mean, it was warm. I didn't really think about temperature, but anyway, I felt like I was supposed to be there, but didn't really fit in. Like I was kind of sticking to myself. Um, yeah, I can't do that right now. What milk? I think milk gets rid of that, but that would rely on cows and buckets, which I don't have cows. I don't have buckets right now, so I can make things while I wait, right? Yes. And I can place things. Why do I need that? I guess I don't. Anyway, I think for a while I was just kind of sitting. I can't even break these, can I? Oh, yes I can. I don't know why I want to, but I did. So anyway, these two young girls like sat down on the couch with me. Oh, darn it. Okay, so maybe if I get up higher. Can I break food? Not really. Yeah, maybe the guardians are down in the water, and if I get up higher, I'll be safer. Anyway, so these two young girls, probably teenagers, well, that doesn't work very well. I don't know, they just started kissing me. I don't even remember talking to them much. I'm gonna float up. This is bad. Yep, I got hit. Ow. Okay. Anyway, it was just kissing. There was, in my dream, there was some. Oops. Okay. Oh, I could have used that ladder better. There was some focus, just on the sensation of kissing. Alright, yep. Doing that again. The sensation. When's that? There it is. Okay. Guess I could just use the axe. I'm not fighting groups. Where's okay? Yep. Oh, ouch. Okay, that was almost lethal. Oh yeah, I can't do. Oh shoot. Wish I could mine. This is not a good world. All this emerald and diamond, and I can't even pick it up. Anyways, the focus in my dream, though, was not really the kissing. It was the confusion and paranoia about what was going on. Oh, I'm out of food. Look at that. Well, I should leave. I should try and get back to the portal because I don't know what that noise is. Without being able to mine, I can't even pick up pumpkins. Oh, it's about to wear off. Is this going to give me a chance? Or am I immediately going to get hit again? Okay. I can't eat pumpkin. Pumpkin ain't melon. So what I became convinced of was that this was a cult, essentially. That this camp was either being operated by or had been infiltrated by a cult. And what I was confused about was whether these girls were in on it. I mean, they seemed more interested in me than they should be. And that could be explained, obviously. I mean, they didn't know me. Could be explained by the fact that they were just interested in the sensation. You know, they just wanted somebody to kiss. And I was there. But I thought more likely they were kind of being employed or used. I don't want to imply payment because I think they were, there at the camp too, basically. But may have even, their parents may have paid for them to be there. Which direction did I come from? Over this way. Can't eat that. Is there food around? Oh, there might be potions. Ouch. Orders. Where? Alright, so anyway, there were a lot of people around just kind of ignoring us, which in itself was kind of strange, but it was kind of a weird party. There were people doing, or again, it might not be a party, it might have just been an active main house in the camp. So I got the impression, there were people having conversations, there were people maybe playing games, having snacks in the kitchen. Some people were moving around trying to accomplish things. I'd like to get more of these emerald blocks, but I really need food. Worried about my health. Okay, well, there's a little bit of something. This isn't helping me. I could try and make mushroom stew, but I only have the one type of mushroom. Currently, let's see, bones, coal, lava, lots of lava. Mr. Lava, lava. I keep doing that whenever I think of lava, but I suppose, you know, it's like another catchphrase. Not here. I didn't say the I word. What am I achieving? Nothing, nothing, nothing. What? Where did I come from? This way. Anyways, I was explaining a dream. Sharing, recounting. Recounting a dream. Yeah, I guess I'll stop with that unless I find some other mushrooms. How did I get in? Oh, through the back. Okay. Where'd all the emeralds go? I wanted more emeralds. So, yeah, what was bothering me the most was that I knew I was being used, or even groomed or recruited, like that this was some sort of temptation that was put before me for specific reason to get me interested in being here, joining the group, the cult, whatever. Might as well pick up a whole bunch of these until I get bazinga'd again. But what frustrated me is that I couldn't see, like I didn't know who was responsible. And there were enough people milling around and even just standing around that it could be anybody that was watching and judging, my actions, reactions. And it also bothered me that I didn't know what these young girls knew. Whether they knew that they were being used to try to recruit me. Ow. If they knew they were in a cult or being used by a cult. But even more than that, like, in some ways that didn't matter. Well, but yeah, that's what bothered me, is I didn't know if I was the lure for them or if they were the lure for me, or if kind of both were true, that they were like this whole campground type setup was all an elaborate manipulation of the both of us, of all of us. And then, like, the dream kind of sped up. I feel like it came from that direction, but I'm gonna get bazinga'd again. I'm sure of it. And I was named Sunkeeper, like some title for joining this group, and interestingly, because of one of my jobs, I have I've been told to avoid politics, and I was asked if I was a member of any political or activist, yeah, there it is again, organization, and that while on this job, I couldn't engage in political activism, and implied that, oops, well, where does this go? It implied that, yeah, doing that stuff would put my job at risk. Well, I just can't get through there. And I can't dig. That's where it came from. Can I get somewhere? No, not really. Well, maybe. Oh, no, not really. Huh. Difficulties. Can I break these? Or is that considered mining? It's considered mining, isn't it? Don't want to deal with anything coming out of there. Okay. Yeah, Sunkeeper. This was like a title. And I got the impression it was for... Oh, good. Bread. I got the impression that it was a gender role title, like only men were named Sunkeeper by this cult. This seems bad. And there was like prestige that came with it. Hey, there's my portal. Good. Oh, I'm floating. Great. Dead coral. Yeah, nice. Oh, missed that one. Well, maybe I should skedaddle. This no mining thing is a big pain. So yeah, I remember I was like in some sort of ceremony. And I was trying to pay attention to what was being said and the meaning behind the ceremony. Well, something hit me. Because I was like ready to say no at some point. I was trying to stay ready to say no. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could mine a little bit more emeralds, but I don't think I should even try. Yep, failed there. Yep. Nope. Okay. Oh, ouch. Alright. Man, I could have been trapped right there. Ah! Yeah, I was waiting for a moment to say no. But, like, they didn't ask me to take an oath or anything. They just named me Sunkeeper. Which oh, my shield broke. Sunkeeper reminds me of Lightkeeper, which reminds me of Lucifer, but I don't want to go down that whole road. Well, the short of it is that Lucifer is sometimes, it also means morning star, I think. It's sometimes, yeah, there's a guardian, big one. I am out of food, though. Yeah, I should just leave. Maybe come back. Once I have food. Lucifer's sometimes depicted as holding a light in his hands, or in a hand, and one of the tarot cards I identify with the most is the Hermit, who holds a lantern in his hand. And it struck me at one point, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, that they're both light keepers. I guess I am going down this path. But the difference... Yeah, quadrangle. The difference between them is substantial, which, at least in my interpretation, the Hermit has kind of withdrawn from society. He's climbed a mountain to get perspective on civilization, on mankind, and if you think about it, if you're standing on a mountain, a lantern's only going to help you like see your footing. And if your current activity is to look back at the world, like if you climbed the mountain to turn back and see what's going on down below, the lantern's not going to help you for that. I mean, it's, again, probably the main purpose is, I don't know if I have pumpkins. Oh, they're probably in the orange bucket. Red. Nope, didn't have any. Okay, now I do. Boop, boop. Boop. Whatevs. Yeah, but the oh, my shield broke. Glad I remembered that. Okay. More stone. Yeah, I'll get that later. Yeah, I think part of the reason the hermit has the lantern is that he has not abandoned society completely. That part of the reason he carries it is that it lets the people in the mountain below him see him, like see that he's withdrawn and I should have kept running. I was hoping to avoid that. Should have got more wood too. Oh, I can't. Well, I got dirt. Why'd I come back here? Probably to finish telling you about my dream. Maybe to get more emeralds. Eh. Meh. Well, gonna have to wait for that to wear off. Anyways, I think the difference between how did that one get by my shields? There's way too many. Oh, shoot. Oh, good, a ceiling. Ah. Oh, good. A slight enclosure. I can't mine. Anyways, the hermit carries his light and shows it back to the world. I think he kind of withdraws as an ascetic, as a hermit from society, but he doesn't withdraw completely. He lets himself be seen, shares his knowledge. Anyways, those are my hopes of the ideals. Lucifer, though, is a light keeper. He guards the knowledge and uses it as an asset. Shares it only with those who serve him. Knowledge is a bargaining chip for him, whereas I think the hermit is primarily driven by a desire to understand and is also willing to let that understanding be seen by other people. It distinguishes it from some other cards like the Magician or the Hierophant, who are part of society or master of tools and techniques. Oh boy, it's lonely waiting to be able to mine. Where? There's a bunch of emeralds there. So anyway, Sunkeeper is strange, and I was given that title, and I don't know, the dream just kind of kept progressing from there. And the next thing I knew, I was sitting on a couch, and I had these. They were kind of like twigs, but more like clippings of a green plant, like almost celery-like, in that they were soft and pliable. Oh. Can I get in here? Yes, thank you. Okay. And I think I might have started with one. And kind of snapped it in two, and snapped those halves in two, so I had 4 of them. And then I noticed that they were moving. I called them celery-like, kind of in shape. They were more leafy than that, but they were like thick, fleshy leaves. Okay, it appears I can mine again. Alright, that didn't go well. What? Ow, okay. These guys... There's too many of them. There's way too many of them. I'm not going to accomplish anything at this rate. Nice. Sunkeeper. So they started crawling over my hands and arms, and because there were 4 of them, man. Can I? Nope, I still float. Okay. Oh, there we go. Because there was 4 of them, I couldn't really keep track of them well. As they climbed over my arms and hands and arms, and one of them crawled around my back, around my shoulder or whatever. They weren't really scary, but something crawling on you is kind of creepy, and they certainly represented unknown. I didn't know what they were or why they were given to me. I felt like they were given to me, like they were part of this whole cult thing. And Well, I naturally don't really want to hurt living things, but I also felt like it might be important to not hurt them because they were given to me right after I was given the title Sunkeeper. Which I didn't understand or really jive with. Being unsure of its meaning. But there was a lamp, like a table lamp, next to the couch I was at, and I leaned over and held one of them up closer to the light bulb so that I could see better. And as I looked at it, it turned from green to kind of a reddish brown, as if it was like drying and dying. And I pulled it away from the lamp, thinking I had just killed it. And to my surprise, it kind of fell into my hand and stopped moving, which is why I thought I had killed it somehow by getting it too close to the light. And I think I was a little bit distracted by other ones. I used all my wood. Well, I fail at everything. Oh, I missed. Yeah, I missed. Oh. Bad times, bad times. Okay, alright. I am an island. Oops. Oh, shoot. Oh, can't eat and block at the same time. I'm gonna die. Am I gonna die? I'm gonna die. Shoot, shoot. Okay. Oh, I did not quite die. Oh, no. No, I don't. Oh, shoot. Oh, heal. Heal yourself. Heal. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. No! Oh! Hey, B. I can't even really blame my story for that. Oh, man. I know generally where I was. And that was a lot of diamonds. Oh, that's not enough. Alright, shield. I should definitely make a shield. Need wood for that. Now, I got wood here. Well, I have overflow wood. somewhere here. Well, there's tons of the birch. Didn't really need that much. I don't know why I did that. Could have moved the whole stack. Yeah, those are full stacks too. Well, we'll put some up here. Yeah, I got totally thrown off my story by my death. Some stone. Wood. Okay, so some sticks. Ah, this is going to be another long episode. Shield. I wanted to make a shield. Still don't have milk. So be it. Well, I guess we were close to the end of the dream anyway. I didn't ever really get answers. Never figured out whose plan the whole thing was, who was watching me. I didn't learn anything else about the cults or what. I don't want to use the wood. What the title Sunkeeper meant, where those two girls went, whether they had knowledge of. Oh shoot. Oh, I didn't get hit this time. Okay, where did all my dying occurred? Where did my dying occurred? Yeah, over this way. Whoop. Oh, there's some more. So yeah, not a lot of answers. Interpretation. Well, I've been thinking about politics a lot recently. And the world has become so politicized. It's really disheartening and frustrating how much is considered political nowadays that probably shouldn't be considered political. Like, yeah, wearing masks, breathing filters to protect yourself from disease and others. It's a big part of it. That is a lot of lava. Do I have to go up even higher? I don't know how high I floated. Okay. Don't see anything else that I dropped. And there should have been more, I do believe. Which makes me think maybe it's above me still. Yeah, I also haven't encountered more shulkers. Okay, I got birch planks. Yeah, everything's politicized. Like, and from both sides. Oh, there's some stuff. Oh, I did it. Okay. Oh, I did it. Not a master of parkour, that's for sure. So, I just need a whole lot more blocks. Food. Oh boy. This is bad times. Now there's 2 suits of armor I've dropped. One of them's probably despawning. This way. Ah! Don't like it. Yeah, the idea that, like, wearing mask is political, and that the president had a rally where people had to sign a waiver accepting the risks of the Rona risks, and that they wouldn't hold anybody responsible for if they got sick or whatever. Okay, there's more stuff here. Well, maybe I got most of it and can head downward. Some XP, that's nice. I still can't mine. Mine? Little seagull reference for you. Finding Nemo, I think more specifically. Are there? Yeah, there's more stuff I dropped down here. Where? Yeah, there's some. Not an important sum, but some. Oh. thunder? Huh. Oh, there's some shoes. I don't think I'm going to retrieve much else. Oh boy. I lost my train of thought completely. The dream. Oh, polarization. Politics has polarized things so much, and it so frustrates me. I've been talking about this stuff for 12 years on YouTube. Not that anybody's listening, not that I'm making an impact, but I feel like I've put it out there. And, you know, there's very few people who have heard or understood. Oh, sorry guys. Nope. I don't have a pick. Oh. Well, now we're airborne. And back up here. Oops. Almost. Yeah, I feel like right-leaning people don't want to be seen wearing a mask because they associate that with fear of corona, which should be natural. I mean, it's a disease. It has a low mortality rate, but it has a crazy infection rate. And the risk isn't. I mean, my biggest fear isn't that I'm going to get sick, because I feel like I'm a healthy individual that would probably fare pretty well against it. But I have people, you know, my parents are older than I am, and anyways, and I'm also, you know, worried about just spreading it, just not knowing I'm sick and passing it along to others. Unaware. And it shouldn't be a political thing, really. And Black Lives Matter, I feel like a lot of right-leaning people are fighting against it, not because they're racist or don't believe that black people are more likely to be mistreated by the police or anything, but just I keep doing that. just because they want to support their president, that I can mix those. Yeah, good. They don't want to be seen as being progressive or liberal or a Democrat or whatever. Which, yeah, just so. It's like people have lost their morality or any sense of a complexity or nuance to morality, that they don't make individuals decisions. They just need to fit in to one of these two groups, left or right. And a big part of Black Lives Matter is certainly a big reason I support the movement, is I think police have too much discretion in how they apply force. And it's not just force, there's so much discretion in policing in general that even just who they choose to pull over, and for what reason, they have a lot of discretion in that. And then, once they pull somebody over, they can start doing their sniff tests, or it's so easy for them, if they want to abuse their authority, to plant evidence or arrest somebody based on nonsense charges. Like, you can't arrest somebody for resisting arrest unless you're already arresting them. And non-compliance, like, police can't just stop you and give you orders and expect compliance. They have to give you lawful orders. There has to be a law that makes their order, and public safety and keeping the peace, those are valid things. If they're asking you to get out of the way because they're trying to perform an investigation, that's a lawful order to ask you to step aside while they talk to somebody, or leave the area of a crime scene, or those are the sorts of things that fall under lawful orders. But a cop can't just stop you and tell you to sit down. And and they'll even sometimes use things like sobriety test just to induce fear. Anyways, I'm getting way off track, and I've probably rescued all I'm going to manage to rescue from this whole ordeal. Unless I see something still. It's a cobweb. But I was more over here when I fell. Anyway, I hope we get some police reform out of this civil rights movement. This is now the biggest civil rights movement that history has ever seen. I mean, just like the most people involved. Numbers of protesters. And yeah, the violence and destruction are a bad part of it, but Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said that a riot is the language of the unheard. And Black Lives Matter has been a protest movement that's been occurring for 5 years at least. And there's certain, it didn't, the motivation for it didn't start then. It goes way back into our American history, farther back than America itself. So anyway, I definitely feel like I got off track, but my point was, probably have some things to make. Stuff's become really politicized, and it's a shame. I think we really need to be having the discussion that distinguishes between authoritarian and libertarian, what I've called the up and down on the political spectrum, and other people have too. That's not unique to me. It's not something I came up with. But authoritarian control would be, kind of top-down power. And, the libertarian side of the spectrum is more about personal freedoms. Okay, we got some things, we got stuff. Oh, I only needed 2 of those. Well, don't really need them right now. Make another bucket. Keep losing buckets. I didn't put anything in this, did I? Oh, I did. I did put things in it. I don't like it there. Don't like it there either, but that's where it is for now. Yeah, there's also another spectrum which doesn't really appear in that, which is there are 2 types of fascism, and it's why we've got people on the left and right yelling fascist at each other, is that it's not just one. Most people understand fascism as authoritarian control of almost all aspects of the state. So when the state controls corporations, military, production, the media. Where did I put Yeah, I put it away. I'll just get one of those for now. Yeah, and our president certainly has authoritarian leanings. He'd like to be in complete control of everything. And the best example is, well, there's several examples. Desire to, his attacks on the media, the judicial system, the legislative branch, those are all attempts to weaken the other co-equal branches of government so that he, as head of the executive branch, gains more power. And he's even been having conceptual struggles with the military and National Guard and governors of states because he wants as much power in his hands as possible. But the other form of fascism is a social fascism. I think of it as coming from the sides rather than the top down. And that sort of fascism is when everybody around you says you're wrong and resorts to verbal or physical violence to try and keep you in check. The punching people in the back of the head, pulling their hats off and throwing them on the ground, just yelling, throwing vitriol at them. There's a term, opprobrium, which means verbal abuse. My cat's climbing over strange things, so I know she's trying to get my attention to feed her. I wonder if she can tell when she needs a pill, too. And that's another form of fascism that I'm concerned about. The ripping down of statues, the destruction of private and public property. Vandalism doesn't bother me quite as much because, I care more about the people than the things. And again, riot is the language of the unheard. Did I say that wrong? Did I say oppressed before? A riot is the language of the unheard. Martin Luther King did not say that because he supports riots. He said that because he understands that when people are oppressed and ignored for so long, they resort to violence. Things escalate. And that's not to support or justify it. It's just to explain it to people who don't seem to understand. And even our president has tweeted well, let me read that tweet. It really bothered me. Sorry, I need to get to it. Any protesters, anarchists, agitators, looters, or lowlifes who are going to Oklahoma, please understand you will not be treated like you have been in New York, Seattle, or Minneapolis. It will be a much different scene. So obviously his big goal with this tweet is to say, don't cause problems because in this city, in this state, I have law enforcement on my side and we're going to crack down. But what really bothers me is his list. This list implies that this is somehow all the same category. Protesters, anarchists, agitators, looters, or lowlifes. So first of all, lowlifes is just an insult, and it's based on classism, I think, that he's speaking of not poor people, but people with poor morals. But the bigger thing is by creating a list like this, he's implying that this is all the same thing. Looters are opportunists who steal when they see windows broken. Agitators, well, those are infiltrators. Those are agent provocateurs. Those are people who are trying to instigate violence towards some political end. And those are probably the worst terrorists of this group. Anarchists, that's a political leaning. And you can have violent anarchists who are terrorists, fit the definition of terrorists, but you also have people who just believe in anarchy as a political ideal, who want to break the system down, break down the authoritarianism, so that the civilians are better served. And maybe some of them want to go all the way to lawlessness, but some of them theorize that if we didn't have police and corporations and these systems of oppression, systemic oppression, the redlining, the way voting districts are drawn, all this stuff, that we'd live in a much more peaceful world. And I don't think that's true unless there was a lot more wealth equality. And I'm not an advocate of just outright wealth distribution, except through taxes. I think we should be taxing the rich more and taxing the poor less. Anyways, but what really bothers me about this tweet is that he includes protesters in this list, implying that there's going to be law enforcement crackdown on anyone who protests, which is a First Amendment protected right. So I see this tweet as an attack on the U.S. Constitution, and I've sworn an oath to fight all enemies, to oppose all enemies, foreign or domestic, of the Constitution. And I know that the president has made that same oath, an even stronger oath, to lead the executive branch towards those ends. And he doesn't take it seriously. But I'm not trying to get political. I definitely got off on a political rant. But I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm not a big fan of the other guy, and I hate that we're still in this two-party system, locked in this two-party system that pretends that it picks the two best people. That would be the ideal, right? The two best people to lead our country towards a better future, and that's not what we have. We have a selected pair, the blue shirt and the red shirt. It's not the two best people to lead our country to a better future. It's who the blue guys think is the best person, and who the red guy thinks is the best person, and it's very polarizing. I would love it if we had some sort of moderate party or moderate candidate that could be voted for in a viable fashion. And I've often voted third party, where I thought either Green Party or Libertarian. And when I did that, I was hoping it might, lead towards changing the system for the better. But I am an oddball. There are just not many people who have joined me in that effort. And I don't know if now is the time to, because it really seems so important. But part of what's crazy is that, the president's trying to label Antifa as a terrorist organization when the KKK hasn't been labeled. And they actually are an organization. They're organized. Antifa is a strategy. And some of them are organized. There are Antifa organizations, But Antifa as a whole, that term as a whole, is not an organization. It's an ideology, and it's a set of tactics. Tactics that I don't subscribe to or agree with. And I don't buy into the all cops are bad argument. I think that's just plain wrong. There are many cops who every day go out with the goal of protect and serve, and yeah, this has been a long episode. That's bad. That's very bad. Purple. What happens if I try to do that? I mean, they're already purple, right? Is it a different shade of purple, or... It is. It's a darker purple. This is a lighter purple. Okay. I see you, shulker boxes. I need like a lime or something. This one's cyan, I think. I could make a black one. I don't think I've done that. We'll use those later. Insert catchphrase here.